It is post-match Pint. I'm Neil Atkinson. This is Pete Bolster. This is Harriet Pryor. And Harriet, this is a bit of a funny game. It's a difficult one to talk about in a couple of senses because there's a number of changes up to and including the bench. It has a bit of a pre-season-y feel, but also simultaneously you just want some Liverpool players to be better. They're given the opportunity to play at this level, play this game, and you just want them to be better. And that is a vexing situation, to say the least.
It's a difficult one to talk about for me, not least because I'm losing my voice. And I feel like I'm
Liverpool.
Though. I'm like crawling to the end of the season, trying to get through it. But today they just felt like they couldn't even crawl. They couldn't really do much apart from the first 20 minutes, but they looked quite good. I thought it was going to be a lovely, relaxing afternoon.
It's going to be delightful.
I barely celebrated the first goal because it just didn't mean much, but I was like, that's nice. It wouldn't be nice if we just end with like really nice 3-4-0 to end the season, go out on a high. I mean, what happened? It did feel like a pre-season game, not least, like you mentioned, because of the lineup. But I didn't expect him to go all out, but I think it was just completely different in attack than it was to defence. Like defensively today, I just thought we were all over the place. Every time that Southampton got the ball, essentially, or even just put a few passes together, it was a problem.
But Harry, this is where, as I say, simultaneously, I'm cross with all three of the conventional defenders that start. We'll put Trent to one side for a minute. And the goalkeeper. I think the goalkeeper can do better over and over and over again. I think Gomez can do better over and over again.
Yeah.
Matip can, Tsimikas can. But the point is, if I was any of them, I'd go, but I'm not getting to play with the other lads. Like it's not like it's one in and then everyone else is the same. Everything's different for those four footballers.
Yeah, it's not like they've slotted into a team that's already kind of gelling and knows what it's doing. But what I would say is that's kind of been the problem this season, is that last season I felt like we really had that squad depth, and whoever you kind of dropped in, you'd expect the same system, you'd expect the same intensity.
They were at Southampton making changes.
Exactly. This season you can bring other people in and it just doesn't have the same feel to it. And I don't know whether that's because of the people that are on the bench and that are coming in just aren't as good and the quality's not quite there. I don't know if it's because they're lacking confidence in the way the season's panned out and gone. But ultimately I've come away from that thinking, not only do we need to kind of work to bolster the first 11, but it's also the backup players, the squad options, the people that are coming off the bench, because they're the ones that are raising the standards in training. They're the ones that are raising it in friendlies, and today it felt like that vibe. If not all of the squad are up to the level that we expect them to be, you can expect results like that to happen when the first 11 aren't on the pitch.
Let's talk about those four. We'll start off with what I found difficult watching Matip, Gomez and Tsimikas before we get to the goalkeeper, Pete, is I just want to feel as though they're genuinely front foot. You know, I want to feel as though they genuinely think they're going to go and win the ball first. And over again, I think all three of them, at times it matters that leads to goals, but also just in times where play just carries on as normal immediately afterwards. Not one of them, to me, appears to really think he is going to go and win the football in the first place. And that's tough to watch at times.
I think we spoke about this off air about Joe Gomez. He's indecisive in these moments. You're talking about all three of them, but when Van Dijk doesn't play, it's well documented over the years that there's no proper leader there, is there? So Matip is a very good second central defender. So Joe Gomez has proved to be so at times. Who knows what Kanate will be eventually? I know he didn't play today, but there's a lack of leadership and there's a lack of decision making. We see Joe Gomez. I'm talking about him again because he just annoys me. In the last few years, when I watch him come on, we talk about people not getting chances. Well, they got a chance today, and I think there's a moment where he's running back, he's in control of the ball. All you need to do is clear it first of all, which I would have done, or lay it off, and he didn't. He don't leave.
Or go the keeper.
Yeah, or go the keeper, and you just think, well, what is it you're doing?
It doesn't lead to a goal, that one, does it? But that's where it does drive you a bit mad. But what I would say is, if Gomez was sitting here, he might say to you know what though, Pete, I'd quite like it to be Kanate there and Andy Robertson there. Can I have a go when that's the case, please? You know what I mean? Can I have a turn there where I've got Andy Robertson there, I've got Kanate there, and I've got Alisson in goal, rather than what I'm dealing with? And that's why I feel a bit like, I'm not just defending Gomez in this. If I'm Matip, I'd be saying, well, can I have a game where it's Van Dijk there, and it's Robertson there, and it's Alisson behind me? If I'm Tsimikas, I'm going, can I have Van Dijk and Kanate and Alisson?
So why are they all put in at once?
I think that's why it is, you know, if it's any of them, they're probably all going, well, you've got a valid point, mate, but the flip side is, and that's where I feel I do have a bit of sympathy for them, but simultaneously, I'll say it again, I just want someone to take responsibility, and I agree with you. I think it should be Gomez.
Well, how old is he? He must be
25. He's 25.
Yeah.
So he's old enough now to be in that Liverpool side to take control.
But Matip's 31.
Yeah, but you are that character, are you not? If you're Joe Gomez and you're still looking to be a proper centre-back at Liverpool Football Club, Matip is on his way out, isn't he? Let's be honest. He served his purpose. He might stay for another year, but there's an expiry date on him. Is there an expiry date in Joe Gomez? Because if there isn't, he needs to then go and prove it.
YouTube, press the button, become a member of the Anfield Wrap from the heart of the city of Liverpool.
the best way to enjoy all your Liverpool-based videos, everything you need, every single day. It is the Anfield Wrap.